Hello, good evening, and welcome. It's 9 o'clock. It's Friday, the 30th of June, and yes, we are now halfway through 2023. How about that? We're going to talk about this year, whether it's been any good or lived up to expectations or whatever. So, good evening to everybody. And if you're watching this on catch up, I'm not in Rome. I'm somewhere in the southwest of England. But there's a point to be made about that, isn't it? I mean, some person scratched graffiti on that marvelous Colosseum that is 2,000 years old. Somebody scratched graffiti on that. I can't really talk too much because I don't think he's been fully convicted of it yet. But even so, it's a bloody abominable thing to do. And I hope they throw the book at him. In fact, I hope they throw Ben Hayes' spear at him. Serves him bloody right. Anyway, if you're watching this on Catch Up, welcome and thanks for tuning in. So, Martin Ryder, did you see the Daily Mail today? Time Man chopped his todger off cutting the grass. That's what was he? Was he pissed? Was he having his aim kind of been very good? Sounds pretty dreadful. That absolutely nice to hear from you, Martin. Reborn, Itzy and Betty. Love from North Thailand. Oh, okay. Reborn, Itzy. Love from North Thailand. Okay, nice to hear from you. Nice to hear from you. Leeds, good evening. Jimmy Poker, sceneries. Jimmy Poker, Bobby Crush. Bobby Crush, good evening to everyone. Bobby Crush, the state of France. It's like a war zone. Oh my God Almighty! I've seen bits of it on the news. I mean, all kind of riots and whatever look the same, don't they? I mean, there's all people like pelting missiles and all kinds of debris at each other. So oh God Almighty, let's be peaceful here. Wayne Ritchie, nice to hear. Hi, Eddie and everyone. How are you doing? I like your intro music. Where did you film the dancing robot? As they are cool. They were filmed in Langkawi, the island of Malaysia. I was looking for where the nightlife center is, but it's more like, it's not like nightlife as we know it. But they do have dancing robots there in a town square. Nice to hear from you. John Mitch, another weekend of crappy weather. Does it not give you itchy feet for better weather and rumpy bumpy? I mean, the social clubs here in the UK are dire. Oh, I don't know. I just got a feeling the being there. There's something to say about that, about my current, um, my current state of mind with regards to travel, and it has to do with being off the booze. It's got to do with that. Anyway, nice to hear from you, John. Gemini Star, good evening. Filipina, haven't heard this one before. Filipina British, Anne and James. Good evening, boys. Had fun. Okay, good evening. Never heard from you before. Nice to hear from you. Brian Street. Good evening, folks. I'm starting to get itchy feet for Bangkok in October. Good for you, Brian. Good for you, Brian. Good for you, mate. Matthew Cartwright. Nice to hear from you. Hi, Billy Boy. I do believe in fairies. Joe Hart, good evening to everyone. McLaren is here, nice to hear from you, mate. Capitonian, nice to hear from you. London Cab Thailand, good evening, Ed and everyone. Okay, good evening to you, mate. Glad you could make it. Mark Ollick, happy Friday, Eddie, and fellow family chat members. Members, not neighbours. Did I say neighbours then? Fellow chat members. Okay, nice to hear from you, my friend across the pond. Nice to hear from you, Mark. Hope all's well. Bottle Babe, Paul Hoskin. Bottle Baby is here. Paul Hoskin. Welcome, fishmongers. Okay, nice to hear from you. Richard O, good evening, mate. Moto Kenny. Right, Moto Kenny, what's up, Eddie? How the hell are you? I'm doing okay. I've been off the booze for 3 months now. For 3 months. Well, this weekend it will be 3 months since I touched a drop of alcohol. This is my favourite. It gets invisible there, doesn't it? This is my favourite here. I do like this. It's the Co-op diet ginger ale. Okay. Diet ginger ale, the co-op diet ginger ale. Now, why do I like that so much? Because I like it. I mean, it's not alcohol and it's not high in calories, but I like drinking that at a night time. I get through quite a lot of that. Asda's version of that is not good. I tried it when I had that delivery the other week, but the co-op do that really, really well, and I love it. It really, if it takes my mind off alcohol, and it's all to the good. But anyway, 3 months off the booze. Now there's controversy now about these sweeteners in. What are they? What is it called? What is it called again? It's called. What is it called? The stuff that you put in diet foods. What is it called? It's in there somewhere. It's in there somewhere. Preserved. Flame. What is it? Flame. That's what it looks like from here. Anyway, apparently it's not good for you, but I think it's only not good for you if you drink an excessive amount of it. And I don't really drink I drink quite a lot of foods and drink with sweetness in them, but I wouldn't say an excessive amount. So I'll keep going. This is tasty. I like it. Okay, so let's see. Motorcade, Filipino, British, and James. Oh yeah, right there and stop. Okay. McLaren, yeah, David Frosty Sweeney, Yogi Bear. Good evening, Ed. Nice to hear from you, Yogi Bear. Good evening to you. Okay. David Coleman. Hey, Eddie, it's 4 p.m. in Toronto. What's the talk tonight? Stupid people in the world, real. Yeah, there's loads of them. The whole world's bloody destroyed. There's a fair bit to talk about tonight. The whole bloody world is destroyed. I mean, look at that marvelous thing that they built 2,000 years ago. I will, to be fair, I mean, some of the goings on in there 2,000 years ago was bloody, fairly awful. I mean, is that the one where Kirk Douglas had to fight with Woody Strode and or was that somewhere another location? Was that Circus Maximus? But the Colosseum, I've been in there, and Jesus God Almighty. What a plonker, eh? What a plonker to carve his name. I think he carved him and his girlfriend. What a plonker, eh? To carve his name in something that's 2,000 years old. What a stupid bloody thing to do. Have a bit of respect, man. Have a bit of respect. Anyway, Mark Holland Kilroy was here. Yeah, okay. I mean, I was there. I went to that place, in the background there, the Colosseum in Rome. I took that photograph. That's my photograph you're seeing there. It was me who took that photograph about 30 years ago. But I've been there and done that, and I'm glad that I did it, and I'm glad I've got the photograph. I'm glad that I can show you the photograph. But I didn't get out, some kind of sharp, instrument carved me bloody name in there. I mean, how disrespectful is that? Oh, well, we'll see how that one pans out. Sean Harris, nice to hear from you, Sean. Sean was a guest the other night. What a fine guest he was. He went down really, really well. Nice to hear from you, Sean. Seamus Doherty is here. Nice to hear from you, mate. Fat Boy Slim, top man Eddie, you look like a young boy now. You're nice and slim. Well, I haven't lost that much weight. Not really. Not really lost that much weight. I've lost a few pounds, but I'm still eating some of the wrong things like bacon and sausage. But I am ditching those bit by bit. I'm ditching those horrible things from my diet because I'm not really enjoying them anymore. Somebody else says I've lost a lot of weight. No, I don't think I have really, but nice to comment. Lewis C. Just got back from Battaya. Good news for you. Seen bottled ginger beer on some bar menus. Okay, fair enough. Paul Hoskin. I love a bar girl with tensions. What planet are you on? Cat and Good Coffee is here. Nice to hear from you. London Cab Thailand. Thank you. Sean Adams, I was in St. Malo in 1996 when some sort of farmers demonstration was going on. I started to take a photo of the carnage. I was nearly beaten up. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Avoid those sorts of things, mate. Let them get on with it. That's their business. John Atkinson is here. Nice to hear from you. Gemini Star. Eddie is definitely looking a lot healthier. Okay, that's really, really kind of you. Brian Street, no booze, white shirt. You are now a virgin again. Never again. Never again will I be one of those, mate. Never again. It's something that no one can take away from you, if you know what I mean. Absolutely, definitely, mate. Definitely not me. Ivan, as part of me, yeah, absolutely. Okay, so these kind of things here, diet ginger ale. You know, they do have a lot of that. So, of course, early on in the day, I drink a lot of coffee, and I always have a couple of sweeteners with it. But I've been taking this sort of stuff for about 40 years now, and I'm still alive. So, you know, I'm still alive, and I've been taking sweeteners. And I even heard about 40 years ago that those things were bad for you, and I'm still alive. You know, I'm still alive. Andrew Hammond, good evening, Eddie. You know, I'm planning a major winter trip for 4 months to several countries. Good for you, mate. Good for you. I hope you're better now as well. Andrew was in hospital recently, so I hope you're better now anyway. Yeah, McLaren F1. I like Mercedes. Sounds like a bloody sounds like a bloody STD, doesn't it? That one, you know, gonorrhea. Oh God Almighty! Gemini Star. France are in the process of revolution. I think we'll be joining them soon. I think we're bloody joining them soon. Yours Sowers, forgot you was on it. How's the gang doing? Everyone seems to be okay. It's Friday night. The weather's taking a bit of a knock here. It's a bit it's been raining today, so but nice to hear from you, yours. Bobby Crush, they're throwing hand grenades and firing AK-47s at the police in France. It's total chaos. Is this going on right now? I've seen the news earlier, ran about up to tea time, but has this happened this evening? I know it's fairly, you know, I've seen images of it. It's really, really terrible. But has it? By the sounds of that, it sounds bloody, you know, words. It sounds like it's got worse. Cats and Go Coffee. The holy war is starting. Let's all get our arms and swords. No, we don't want to do that just yet. We don't want to do that. We'll find a peaceful solution. David Martin, nice to hear from you. Nice to hear from you, David. David Coleman, I knew a German lesbian that had sex with her girlfriend in the Colosseum. So hot. No, that's, you know, as long as she didn't leave a mark on the precious stone. I mean that sounds hot. I think even the Romans would have approved of that. The Romans, they loved all that, you know, all that sordid stuff. They would have approved of that. I'd have put on a nice robe. I'd have dressed up as bloody Julius Caesar and joined in with them. You know, that sounds bloody good, that, mate. Sounds good. Martin Ryder. Careful of what you say. Your bank account could cancel you. Yeah, I think we'll talk a little bit about that pretty soon. I mean, that's we're going to talk about that pretty soon. It is. Let's just say back to that one in a minute. Harold Batterson, nice to hear from you. Mister is here. He loves Thailand Blondo. Okay. David Coleman, they cut Nigel's bank on TV News. Something very bad is going on in the UK. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, Eugene Vincent, Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris having a tear up in the Colosseum in Way of the Dragon is classic, Ed. Yeah, I did see that. Absolutely wonderful. Bruce, you know, absolutely wonderful. I mean, Chuck Norris was fairly fearsome in that, but Bruce Lee was the winner of that day. And how can you not respect somebody who has dialogue like "Hi-ya! Woo-ya!" Wonderful. Chuck Norris couldn't come up with anything like that. Marvelous. Anyway, David Coleman, the French need to bring back the guillotine. Okay. Brad Russell is here. Nice to hear from you, mate. Nice to hear from you. Okay. So anyway, so anyway, I think we got up to about that. A couple more now that we'll start talking about stuff anyway. In Thailand till I die, even that Rishi had a cunning plan, Rwanda. Oh, God Almighty, God Almighty, God Almighty. What a farce. The Rwandan project, and what an absolute bloody farce. What a farce, what a farce, what a farce. I mean, God Almighty, it's ridiculous, isn't it? I mean, it sounded like a joke to begin with. And basically, the courts are ruling that Rwanda is not a safe country. Well, isn't that a little bit unpolitically correct to say that another country like that is not safe? You suggested that those people are, not civilized people. That's probably not politically correct to say that Rwanda is not safe. I'll send the bastards there and be done with it. Okay, Paul Hoskin. Paul Hoskin. I've entered plenty of dragons. Yeah, I've come across a few myself. And like I've said before, it's something no one can take away from you. The memories are still there. Let's see. Okay. So anyway, let's see. People are banging on about Martin Ryder mentioned it first. Let's talk about something again. Anyway, let's talk about Nigel Farage. There you go. Okay. So anyway, Nigel Farage, he was very, very much the architect of Brexit. Not popular with everyone, but he's a real character and he's a strong personality amongst a lot of other weak personalities. I don't think he'll ever become prime minister because the political system will not allow him to become prime minister. I mean, there's only Labour and Conservative, and I think they're going to be with us, for a long time to come. That's the way it is. But basically, Nigel Farage has had his bank accounts cancelled. He says cancelled, not frozen, but cancelled. They don't want his custom anymore. And basically, it doesn't take a genius to figure out because he's a controversial personality. He's got political influence, and he's done something that a lot of people don't like, which is instigate Brexit. So the banks, but it's bloody awful, really. This is another way of the authorities controlling us. I mean, by threatening, if we don't like you, we're going to cancel your bank account. And it doesn't take a genius to figure out that without bank accounts, you can't do a great deal in this country. You can't do anything. So let's see. Crypto Chris Card, nice to hear from you. Brian Street depends on what he's done. I don't think they've actually given him a reason. Other than that, they just don't like him. Yeah. Martin Ryder. Nigel's bank is Cout, owned by NatWest. Government owned majority share. Okay, fair enough. Wasn't that the Queen's Bank as well? Now, Yogi Bear, your travels, the law is that you can't stay over 180 days. Okay, that's about something else. Cats and Go Coffee. Steady Eddie Live. Eddie, most companies change their logos during the Pride LGTB month. Why do you not do that with your YouTube channel icon? Let me see. Okay. Let me see. Changing my YouTube channel icon. Okay. Does this make you happy? There you go. Paint the whole world with a rainbow. That's rainbow. That's as close to rainbow as I'm going to get. There you go. That's Jeffrey Bungle, Zippy, and George. Are you happy now? One of the best TV series ever. Okay. So anyway, let's see. Let's see. Bobby Crush. The British built the modern world. You're speaking English. Okay. Repair shop. Nigel Farage et al. Are absolutely outraged with his inability to access banking, saying this is something new. And it is sinister. Sinister is the correct word for. I mean, the ultimate control. I mean, that is as much control as anything else. I mean, if you he's explained it all in the video. You can't do sod all without a bank account. If he's blacklisted from the banks, if he's blacklisted, if he finds that he can't approach any other banks and banks with them, he's saying he might have to leave the country. I mean, basically, that's absolutely dreadful. It's scandalous. Bottle baby, politics is very, very dirty, yet very rewarding, depending on the end of the stick you end up with. Okay. Let's see. David Coleman, Nigel did nothing but tell the truth. I don't think we know that. Do you really know that? I mean, I think he's quite believable, but tell the truth. I don't know. I wouldn't exactly go as far as that. But Farage, didn't always. I would say he didn't tell the truth, but he wasn't exactly accurate when he was campaigning for Brexit. Some of the things that he said were not exactly, truthful. I mean, on Question Time, I recall him saying that if we stay in the European Union, sooner or later, we're going to have 70 million Turks heading this way, okay? 70 million Turks. He said something like that, right? Now, there's only about 70 million people in Turkey, and Turkey was proposed to join the EU, which they are now not. So Turkey's never been in the EU. And the idea that even if they were and they could come to Britain, then the idea of 70 million, I've bloody lived sporadically in Turkey. Most Turkish people don't even want to come to England with the piss poor weather that we have. The idea that 70 million, the entire population of Turkey is going to be heading into this little country is absolute rubbish. And yet this was the kind of scaremongering that Nigel Farage was spouting out in the years leading up to Brexit. The idea of nothing but tell the truth, I'd take that one with a pinch of salt, to be honest with you. Martin Ryder, Yorkshire Bank, close ones account for saying there's too many rainbows. Okay. Gemini Star, Nigel Farage become too big for his boots. Lost it, they've got to shut him up. I mean, this is it. I mean, it's another attack on freedom of speech. If they hate him and they want to punish him, it's because he's speaking his mind, even though I don't always believe what he says, as I just said a moment ago. Let's see. Glenn Wyndham, FLGPG. FLGBTQ. I can't keep up with these bloody things. I just can't keep up. Speak English, please. Let's see. Mr. already has the world's best opener set and intermission sets. Changes the process from there. Intermission sets, changes the process. Okay. Yeah, okay. Thank you. Thanks for that, mate. I hope all's well, mister. Gemini Star, remember that. Rainbow? McLaren, I'm not going to put on there. That's not really politically correct. Bottle baby, Farage probably forgot his password. No, I don't think so, Sumo. Repair shop. It happened to the BNP nearly 20 years ago, and we are pretty certain no one has a word to say about that. I mean, the thing is, if should banks have anything whatsoever to do with politics or whatever? I mean, he's a customer. And he's got every right to use it. And if he's a regular, honest, decent customer who doesn't muck it up, why should banks get interfere with politics and whatever? I mean, it's absolutely bloody ridiculous. It's absolutely stupid. It's sinister. David Coleman. Did this to all the truckers when they were demonstrating in Canada. It's just so below the belt, that is. I mean, to actually freeze the bank accounts of people in order to keep them in line, the very principle of that is denying free speech, and It's too authoritarian. It's dreadful. It's absolutely bloody dreadful. It's sinister. I don't blame people for rioting, you know. Bobby Crush first they came to tell me. Oh, I don't actually know about that. Let's see. Paul Hoskin, never tell the bank you like sniffing exercise bike seats. Okay. Let's see. David Cohen, pseudos. Oh, no, I don't believe that's true either. Repair shop shows importance of keeping cash. Without cash usage, banks could cut an individual out of everything, payment things in shops, transport. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, some people say that, fading out cash and making us all pay with credit card. That's a way of controlling people. I mean, I've said this before, but if I'm walking, through the town centre and I want to take a pay, I have to use my credit card now to do that. But it's not just here. There are other countries. I mean, last time I was on a tram in Amsterdam, you had to use a credit card in order to pay the fare. I mean, you do that on the bus. I think the buses still take cash, but you can use a credit card in a So I mean, the idea of keeping cash. And if you've got a lot of money, what are you going to do? You're going to keep all the cash under your bed. You can't really win with this. You need banks and you need credit cards in a modern world. Bobby Crush, France in civil war, major war on the EU's border, Germany in recession, rejoin the EU. You want your head tested. Well, I'm not suggesting rejoin the EU. I don't know, that might have been someone else. It's not me. Gemini Star, Nigel Farage lied about funding of the NHS. Well, I think that what was on the side of that bus, 350 million a week was it? This could go to the NHS. I mean, that was a load of bollocks. That was a lie. Let's see. Yoz Travels has got an Emirates flight from Manchester where 800 quid November till March. That's good. Let's see. Martin Ryder. Turkey's population is 85 million. I think it's gone up in recent years since Nigel Farage said 70 million of them. But there's probably more than 70 million adults in sorry, I mean 85 million. I mean, 70 million is not far off 85 million. Paul Hoskin, question, has anyone been scammed online? Oh, they've tried to. Repair shop, the streets of France are a war zone thanks to mass immigration. Jesus Christ. Sean Harris, the governments of the world want a cashless society so they can control us. It would seem that way. I mean, the thing is, by controlling people's money supply, that is absolutely dreadful. I mean, the very idea that they cancel, I don't think they're freezing his assets. I think what they're doing is just cancelling his bank account, saying go elsewhere. That's bloody awful. That is absolutely dreadful. That is. I mean, it's below the belt. I mean, banks shouldn't have anything to do with, people's beliefs elsewhere. Repair shop, multicultural Europe tears itself apart. Why aren't these youngsters stood with candles singing, "Don't look back in anger"? Oh, that's only for white. Okay, fair enough. Let's see, they scared Farage stands in the next election. Who's he? What party is he going to stand for, though? Man, right, they only cancel people on the right. It's bloody ridiculous. I mean, in the olden days, wasn't the government and the authorities all for the rich? And now it seems to get you, or all for the right, all for the right. Now it seems it's absolutely stupid. Sean Harris. A lot of European countries have turned to the far-right political parties. Okay. Repair shop. Having a bank should be a human right. Absolutely. I mean, if you're not a thief or, I mean, it's not as if he's got a bloody shotgun and a mask and, said, stick it up. I mean, I wouldn't blame him, like, if you're an armed bloody bank robber. But, I mean, Nigel Farage has never done anything like that. It's ridiculous. Sean Harris, we bailed the banks out, and now they're, yeah, absolutely crazy, absolutely crazy. Daniel Mills, the UK is a two-party dictatorship. It won't even bother voting at the next general election unless some right-wing alternative emerges. I think the whole country is bloody knackered, basically. It's in a terrible state right now. Martin Ryder, in Spain, you need your mobile phone to see the menu. QR codes. Let's see, Daniel Mills, dopey Brits are walking straight into a cashless society. All I see are those, yeah, okay. Gemini Star, UK buses have all become contactless. Repair shop, we didn't lead the EU. Well, load of crap. Sean Harris, is woke an acronym or just a movement? It's a load of bollocks, that's what it is. William says, Aldi in London is a turnstile which you need to scan to get in. Oh, Christ almighty. I mean, the thing is, I like the idea of not using cash. I mean, I was always a very, very cash person. And now I like my credit card. The ease of it is unbelievable. But, when banks and governments are trying to control you by this method, it's sinister. The word for it is sinister. McLaren, DPD now use a rainbow-coloured unicorns and a driver an LGBT flag is where you are the destination of your package on their map tracker these days. Oh, whatever. Do you know something? Before I forget, the modern age isn't all bad, The modern age isn't all bad. I mean, I was driving today and there was it came to a stop, while this vehicle was moving, and there was a big van parking, a big, white van parking. It's a big white van. It's it's going to be a bloke driving it. He's a delivery guy. And anyway, when it finally, parked up, the door opens, and this really, really glamorous young bird with blonde, a nice nice womanly bits and skimpy shorts and lovely long legs stepped out. She was the driver. She was the delivery driver. I thought, you wouldn't have seen that in the olden days, would you? Sometimes I like the modern age. You know what I mean? Anyway, crypto Chris card. It wasn't a lie. The 350 million a week we sent to the EU would be better spent on the NHS. The 350 would be better spent on it. Yeah, it would be. Yeah, in an ideal world. Where is it? The NHS is bloody in a terrible state. 350 million quid a week. What is that over the course of a year? I mean, the NHS cost Britain over the course of a year something like it's you anything be 120 billion to 150 billion a year or beyond. The 350 million, where's the evidence that that's being spent? I thought all along, if all of a sudden, we were given 350 million quid, the NHS were given 350 million quid. Okay, spend it where it's wise. It probably bloody disappeared into a black hole. Brexit was 7 years ago, right? 350 million a quid would be better spent on the NHS. Okay, so where is it? How is it that the NHS is in a worse bloody state now than it's ever been? William France. Okay, let's see. David Coleman. I went to the ATM in Toronto to take out some cash, and David Coleman, I went to the ATM in Toronto to take out some cash, and the LGBTQXYZ flag came up on a machine. Oh, God Almighty. I mean, where I live, if you go to an ATM and take out cash, you needn't bother with any bloody flags. So some bloody smackhead's going to creep up behind you to try and strike up a conversation. Oh, he's got money. Give me some. Yeah, that's what happens where I live. Martin Ryder, he tried 7 of the banks, they all turned. That's terrible. That is absolutely dreadful. That is absolutely dreadful. It's blackmail, that. It's like blackmail, isn't it? It's a form of, yeah, it's blackmail. Yeah, it's blackmailing all of us into agreeing with the establishment and not speaking our minds. Because if you don't agree with the establishment, then we'll get you where it hurts most. We'll stop you using banks. Let's see. Glenn Wyndham. A lot of politicians need to meet their maker and reality. Yeah, absolutely. Paul Hoskin. I always say cash in the massage parlors. Absolutely. I actually know someone who has really, quite a, really quite a good job when he travels, and he said that he went somewhere. I think it was a Latin American country. It was somewhere like that. And he went with a hookers. And anyway, what he forgot is that he paid for it with credit cards. And when he got back, his wife is the one who checks his credit card statement. So he had a bit of explaining to do there. Crypto Chris Card, you think it's better to send money to the EU than the NHS? I think it's better to send money to the NHS. But what I want to know is, where did that 350 million go? Did that, when Britain left the European Union, when we voted Brexit, did all of a sudden did the 350 million go to the NHS? Did it? Are you quite sure of that? Doesn't look like it to me. Okay. David Coleman, multiculturalism is okay. I've never been to Canada, but I always think of, snowy mountains and Mounties wearing their hats and the red jackets and grizzly bears and all of that. I went to Munich once, and I always thought, oh no, I'm not even going to go there. I'm not even going to go there. Chopper Harris, Ed likes to show, get back on it. Okay, whatever. Tim Johnson, I don't want to see what Europe is going to be like in the next 20 years. A violent war zone, while we won't be able to say anything about it, or we'll be locked out of society with no home or money. I know it's going to be like a bloody Mad Max or that movie Escape from New York. It's going to be crazy. But this, you cannot underestimate the seriousness of this. If they are actually stopping, and from using their banks, I mean, you've really, it's really is below the belt there. Let's see. Stephen Tutty, everyone, what a shambles France has become, a country being run by hooligans and anti-system mobs. Well, I'm not French. Britain isn't far behind it. Wayne Dawkins, it's a posh form of communism. They just won't admit it. Capitalist being a form of communism and all. It's all getting bizarre. I think everyone's lost a bloody plot. Paul Hoskin, 3 people went up on Virgin space flight this week. That's a bit of a farce. That hasn't got the publicity that I think Branson would have hoped for, because there's so much other shite going on right now. Yeah, Gemini Star, the NHS is, I think you mean, worse now than when we were in the EU. I can't see any improvement. I can't either. Sean Harris, do you think phones, TVs, smart speakers, etc. listen to us? Seems to me if you're talking about something, you get ads about it on your media platforms. Yeah, well, but that's the adverts of something else. I mean, say if I was to make a video about lawnmowers, the chances are, Google will probably put adverts about lawnmowers on there. So they do choose. I mean, not all videos get the same ads. Martin Ryder, doctors going on strike, all going to do private work and earn pounds. Oh, okay. William, the 350 million is getting used to house people in hotels now. Wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, good point. Good point. I just said that 350 million, which is supposedly helped in the NHS. It's going to disappear into a black hole one way or the other. Sure, nice. The woman bus drivers on the island are mostly big, short-haired bus drivers. Okay. Let's see. Paul Hoskin, why does it cost 167,000 per asylum seeker? Put them on the Isle of Wight with the £60 a week. This is good. This is good. This is good. I'm gonna make something of this, okay? Because this is a question that I wanted to. Okay, we spent a bit of time on that one. Okay, so basically, the Rwanda project is it's not totally over, but it's a bit of a farce to begin with. I mean, and the courts have ruled that it's kind of inhumane, and we will be sending asylum seekers to an unsafe country. Sending asylum seekers to an unsafe country, for Christ's sake, they're risking their lives coming across the water. So I think that's probably less safe than Rwanda's gonna be, isn't it? But anyway, a balmy idea. Looks like it's come to an end. Finally, it's come to nothing. I mean, what I see, we have remote. I don't know how many, but I'm sure that the British Islands has a lot of remote islands, and we could. Should we just bung all of these? We can't send them back. We can't turn the boats around. We can't send them to Rwanda. So should we bung them all on a remote island and let them get on with it? Just let them get on top of a few bloody food parcels to them now and again. Yeah, David Coleman, give me a hot policewoman in uniform any day of the week. Okay. Cats and good coffee. This is a true story. My friend's girlfriend got fired recently because in their office, the company started to ask the employees to wear an LGBT plus bracelet during Pride Month, and she refused. Oh, it's bloody bizarre, absolutely bizarre. Sean Harris, Ed, if there was a war, would you join a home guard unit? That'd be quite fun. Who would I be fighting against? Yeah, looks. Hi, Ed, looking good, mate. Keep off the booze. You come first. Okay, thank you for that, mate. Thank you for that. Nice to hear from you, mate. Stuart Lennox, they scared Farage standing in the next election. He will take millions of votes from the Conservatives. Well, I wouldn't be. I wouldn't count on that. I wouldn't. I mean, we have a strange electoral system, and I wouldn't count on that. I don't think he'll ever become prime minister. Say one way or the other. Brad Russell says all politicians should be thrown in the Thames, all corrupt tosspots. The UK is heading for an Islamic takeover, as is Europe. They're all okay, whatever. whatever. Yeah, Martin Ryder, at least the nurses' strike is over. They couldn't be bothered to vote. Okay. David Coleman, Eddie, you're really stereotyping Canada with the RCMP stuff. Tomorrow is July 1st. Lots of froth. Okay, fair enough. But I'd like to think Canada was like that. I'd like to think Canada. I'd also like to think that was, how can I put it, Bavaria, at Munich, Bavaria is very, very I'm not going to go into that, but I went there and I was shocked at the population there. But let's put it that way. Nick Ross, put them on the Scottish arm where they can have. Okay, that's not very nice, is it? Nice to hear from you. Yeah, McLaren F1. What happens to the refugees from Rwanda? Surprise you're going home. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, but if we let it be known that if you come to the UK, okay, we can't send you to Rwanda. We can't tow your boats back to France. But what we can do, we can let you into the UK, but you're going on a particular island. You're going on a remote island, which is very, very windy. It gets very, very bad weather in the winter. But we'll give you some tents there. We'll give you a bit of first aid. We'll build a little makeshift co-op there where you can do your shopping every week. We'll give you a few cows and goats and whatever, and fruit and vegetables, and you can get on with the rest. If you was to say that to them, if you was to say, they wouldn't want to come here, they wouldn't. Yeah, David Coleman, Canada Day tomorrow. It's the only day they really bring out the Mounties and the Redcoats. Well, I'd like to see that. Brian Street, have you noticed Jamaica never had the virus or any bullshit like the rest of us? Well, what are you saying? You're saying that wacky backy cures it all. I haven't been to Jamaica, so that was a bit of a stereotype comment that I made there. I mean, nice to hear from you, Brian. Anyway, Yogi Bear, Ed, the France are getting paid to stop them. We should take them back to France and tell them there is something that you missed. Well, didn't Tony Abbott do that when they had the problem with the immigrants, boat people coming from Indonesia? I mean, they simply towed the boats back. It made them very, very unpopular. With some people, were very popular with others. Just get on with it. David Coleman, people love to get their photos taken with the Mounties in the red jacket. Well, it's like, our guards, the Queen's guards that we have here. I feel sorry for them poor bastards. I mean, when you see videos of the stupid public approaching them and, pulling faces and all kinds of things, I think they should give those royal guards at Buckingham Palace a bit more protection, really. Sean Harris, Ed, have you ever been or thought about traveling to Africa? The only African country I've traveled through is Ethiopia, and it was very, very interesting. It was very interesting. There's some good people there and some not so good people, but I went there and I've been there. And it was interesting. It was a great traveling experience. I wouldn't be in a hurry to go there again, but it's not a part of the world really. For me, maybe I should see some other places. But yeah, I've been to Ethiopia anyway. Bobby Crush, the Mounties are fantastic. They led the way at the Queen's funeral and the coronation. Okay. Yeah, Brad Russell, 43,000 terror suspects on watch in the UK. Why don't they round them up and F them off? Yeah, I think that's a good idea, mate. That's a good idea. That is a very, very good idea. Bobby Crush, close the borders and start a program, mass repatriation. Absolutely. London, a lot of immigrants are very, very useful to this country. I mean, they are very, very good, and immigration, benefits our economy for the most part, and it does. It's the illegals that we have to be worried about. I mean, this judge who said that we should we should be concerned for the safety of these asylum seekers if we send them to Rwanda. Well, how about the safety of us British people if they're coming into our country illegal? The judge should be concerned with our safety first of all, shouldn't he? London Cab Thailand, we can't send them back. We don't know where they come from. They throw away their passports before they land in England. It's bloody crazy, absolutely bloody crazy, absolutely crazy. Martin Ryder, Lee Hansen said to the Albanian ambassador, why do Albanians spend thousands of pounds to get to the UK when they can fly Wizz Air for 28 quid? It does seem a bit bizarre, that. It does absolutely seem bizarre, but I think they're frightened that they'll get turned away at the airport. Martin Ryder, Albanians are permitted to come to the UK under the tourist visa. They don't because they go into organised crime. Okay. Cats and good coffee. Steady to life. Random question. Would you visit Papua New Guinea if you were not visited on it? I haven't been. I suppose I would, but what would they do there? I think, to be honest with you, I mean, is that a country, or is that a selection of islands? I mean, I've been to a lot of islands in my town, a lot of islands, tropical islands around Thailand and various other places. So I think I've seen enough islands for the time being. I don't know. May consider it. Okay. So anyway, should we bung them all on a remote island and let them get on with it? It would be our right to do that. I mean, there must be some bloody empty remote British islands that nobody wants, and and say, okay, you want to come to Britain? I'll send them to the Falklands. Well, they're British, aren't they? No, they're British. Okay, you come over here in a dinghy. Okay, you can stay in Britain. In fact, you can stay in a certain part of Britain. It's called the Falkland Islands. Would you fancy that? Yeah, okay. I know there's a few British people who still live in the Falkland Islands and all that, but we'll get around it one way or the other. Yeah. Sean Harris, on a different track, which one of the Spice Girls was the hottest in your opinion? I thought that Jerry had a nice pair of. Oh, that was Baby Spice, that little blonde one. She was nice. She was nice. I didn't like the that sporty one, that horrible, vulgar, sporty one. Didn't like, yeah. And who else? Uh, that little Baby Spice. She's a nice, cute little blonde, wasn't she? Martin Ryder, every minicab driver in Colchester is from Afghanistan or Iraq. They're driving down the ways of licensed taxis. I've been in quite a few taxis recently where I live, and quite often the chappies are from from that part of the world. So a lot of them are from Pakistan, and it's funny enough. I always get on well with them. I always have a good laugh with them. They always seem really, really polite and cool guys. I don't have a problem with them personally, and they're working. They're doing it as long as they do an honest living. It's all right with me. Bobby Crush. It's population replacement in Britain, Ireland, Europe. It's not about the economy. Even though it was good for the economy, this country is not a prostitute for the rich to F. Okay, well said. Said with determination there, Bobby. Bobby Crush, imagine your does have against a taxi. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I do know what you mean. I do know what you mean. I'm all right. I feel safe being in the taxi with these people. But I know, yeah, I know what you mean, Bobby. I do know what you mean. Yeah. Martin Ryder, send them to South Georgia. They can mug the penguins. Okay. Martin Ryder, the sheep on the Falkland Islands would not be safe. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, Paul Hoskins, I've come up against the Grizzly a few times with Ty. I love the head. He's good for you, mate. Good for you. Bobby Crush, I don't give the immigrants a penny, not a kebab, not a newspaper, not a haircut, not a taxi ride. You're paying for the demise of your own people. I mean, yeah, fair enough. That's that's your opinion. I'll tell you, when I walk through our town centre, where I live, I go there to maybe do a little bit of shopping or go to a bank or have a look around. I'll tell you who it is before I enter that town centre that I'm not going to give a penny to. I'm not going to give a penny to the white English people who approach me with words like, "Hey, mate, can you do me a favour?" No, I don't owe any of them any favors. All of the bloody drug addicts, the riffraff, the dossers who approach you in the street, they're all white English people. They're always the white English people, and they're the ones who are not getting a penny from me. Martin Ryder, the many cows would say guide dogs. Oh, and so they should, so they should. I think they've got to by law. Who's that? Probably because England's backing the demise of our own people before your eyes. Okay. Crypto Chris card. They cross through several safe countries to get to France, then risk their lives to get to England. The question we need to ask is why is England a target? We don't need to ask that question. We already know England is a soft touch country. We are a stupid soft touch country who is afraid of the woke brigade, and we are afraid of doing anything for fear of being brand racist. We allow people to come into our country and walk all over us. I mean, whereas those other countries that you mentioned there, they're not as soft as we are. That's why Britain is a public convenience, and it has been for many, 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 many years. I mean, we need to stop being a soft touch country. Let's see, okay. Yogi Bear, our biggest mistake is giving them a British passport. That should be for the people that are born here only. Okay, fair comment. Okay, I'll be back in a moment. Anyway, we've said our piece about that one. And anyway, I'll be back in a moment. Just going to grab a drink. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. This is lovely. This diet ginger ale out of the co-op. Oh, lovely, jubbly, lovely, jubbly. Bobby Crush, natives first. I don't care if you have a travel document called a passport. They're not English. Okay. Sean Harris, Gladiator or Spartacus? Oh, Spartacus, the original, the Stanley Kubrick movie Spartacus every time with Kirk Douglas and Peter Ustinov and absolutely wonderful. Gladiator is a good movie, but it was a good movie, but a little bit got a little bit tiresome that one, to be honest with you. Martin Ryder, my mate Fat Kev, is a minicab controller in Margate. 100% of drivers are illegal. 100%. 100% of drivers in Margate are bloody illegal. That is disgraceful. Okay, anyway. So anyway, let me just say, okay. Don't know if anyone's noticed. Okay, how about this? Anyway, I don't know if anyone's noticed, but we are now halfway through the year. This is the halfway mark. So just a quick question. Has the first half of 2023 been any good for anyone? I mean, the world's in a very, very worrying state. We've got conflicts around the world. We've got, record inflation. We've got our governments. We have a revolving door on number 10 Downing Street. The rioting in France. Has 2023 been any good for anyone, even on a personal level? I've had not a bad year. Well, a half a year. Half a year. I've actually had not a bad year because I started the year abroad traveling. So I always think any year when you start the year, having fun abroad, at least you've done something. Even if the rest of the year is crap, at least you can say that you've done something. And also, this is the year, and I can't hardly believe it, but this is the year after planning for many, many, many years. This is the year I've actually given up the booze. I've actually given up the booze. I'm not an alcoholic anymore. So yeah, the year hasn't been that bad. So anyone else either done anything worth mentioning this year? Yeah, David Coleman. Put them on an island, 100%. Okay, you know, imagine, look at the nice little ramshackle co-op or a little, little spa shop or whatever. I think they'd like that. Bobby Crush, young girls and women are not safe. Yeah, I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. Traveling milkshake. Ed can drink my milkshake in my yard. Okay. Gemini Star. Most cab drivers in London are illegals. Is that true? I mean, where I live, they have to have very, very strict rules. Police check, DBS checks, and all that kind of stuff. Are you telling me that they haven't? That's dreadful. Yogi Bear. Ed, have you seen the movie Clinton on Crime Macho? I haven't seen that one. No, I haven't managed to keep up with that one. Crypto Chris Card. London cabbie said we can't afford to feed our veterans. Oh, okay. Pale Rider or High Plains. Yeah, Sean Rider. Pale Rider or High Plains Drifter. High Plains Drifter, definitely. I mean, that was one of his Clint's early films, which he was the director. One of his first attempts. And High Plains Drifter, wonderful movie. The plot was a bit obscure, but wonderful. Pale Rider came many, many years later, and it was not a bad movie. In fact, it was similar to High Plains Drifter in some ways. Both of them well worth a look, but High Plains Drifter, definitely my favorite out of them two. Cattle Carpenter, Gladiator, Russell Crowe. Nowadays, he's a big belly, loves junk food, and smokes like most expats in Pattaya. We all get old, mate. Yeah, let's see. Bobby Crush, it's going to get much, much worse. It's going to get much, much worse. Well, so that's pessimistic. So you think the second half of 2023 is going to be worse than the first half? On a personal level, I've had not a bad year, not a bad year. But, but whatever the rest of the year brings, God knows. Mo Mac, it's been a late start to the summer. Do you know something? When we have a crap summer in this country, we get a bit of sun early on, and then it goes, and then July and August turn out crap. And then you hear people saying, "Oh yeah, but they reckon it's going to be a late summer." And then when September comes, September doesn't get any better. And then finally, in October, when the summer comes to an end, we do that's it. The summer's gone, and it was crap. And you'd always hear somebody saying, "Oh yeah, but do you reckon that next year is going to be the hottest summer on record?" Oh, give me a break, man. Give me a break. In Britain, there's only one rule with the weather: you get what you're given. That's the only rule. Guy, I can't pull women anymore. What's happened to women nowadays? Did you ever look in the mirror? Yeah, Grill in Manila. People watching may have had to move heaven and earth to get their Thai Filipino girlfriend into the country, but a lot of immigrants seem to just stroll into the country and settle permanent residence. It's kind of bizarre. It's bizarre, mate. It's absolutely bloody bizarre. Liberal, no, not liberal. McLaren, holy hell, Ed! I saw the Liberal deputy leader on the news earlier, Daisy Cooper. Wow, lol. Okay, well, that sounds bloody good. Uh, Daisy Cooper. I'm not familiar with that. The Liberal Democrats. What do they ever do? This is kind of like squeezed in the middle, aren't they? Yeah, surprised they're still around. Daisy Cooper. I'll check that one out. Nick Ross, Greenheart Island in Scotland is the place to put them. There is no one on it at the moment. It's a mile square. I suppose if you got everyone, don't they say that if everybody stood up, you could squeeze millions of people onto a small island if everyone stood up. I mean, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't make everybody stand up. I'd give them deck chairs. Throw some deck chairs on there for them. Traveller lad has been traveling to a few places in Europe. Oh, good for you, mate. Good for you. Europe's a great continent. Sean Harris, I have had a decent 6 months. Highlight has to be Kokan at a great time. Good for you, mate. Good for you. Good for you. Super Adventures. Why do women play so hard to get in Western societies? They're demanding, aren't they? I mean, I mean, I tell you what you want to do when they start playing hard to get. Just say bollocks to you. I'm going to Thailand, and I'm gonna get hot, sexy women half my age, so I don't need you anymore. Let's see their reactions to that. Let's see. Nick Ross, Uber and Bolt cabbies are they really? Are they really? Mo Mac, are we in recession? It's weird. No one even know. It is. The thing is, if this is a recession, it's the weirdest recession I've ever known. It's the only recession where there's lots of work around. There's loads of work around. I mean, I can get work quite easily, not a problem. Loads of work around. Crypto Chris card. Rwanda was a setup, plan to fail. Send them back to France. Okay, fair comment. Okay, so anyway, so has anyone actually had a decent half of the year? Do you think it's been good? Do you think the first half of this year has been good for the world or good for the? There are some exciting things happening. I think AI, which most people are aware of. I mean, it's got to start somewhere. I think a lot of people are more tuned into AI now than they were before, and I'm quite optimistic. There's a lot of things. I'm quite to hell with to hell with the rest of the world. But I personally, have had not a bad first half of the year, and it's all, you know, it's all down to you as an individual to make something good for yourself. I must admit, I've done something kicking the booze that I've never been able to do before. So I mean, that's worth doing anyway. Martin Ryder is off to drink some wine. It's wine o'clock. Have a great weekend. Okay, great, good for you, mate. Anyway, good for you, Martin. Have a nice evening. See you soon. Paul Hoskin, chat up line. How much? Okay, how much? Okay, fair enough. Mr. says he's got years worth of Cheltenham essay. Okay. So I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll switch this on, and if anyone wants to phone in and say a few words, whatever. Okay, I'll switch that on. If anybody wants to phone in and say a few words, whatever. Let's see. Okay. Where are we? Okay. Okay. So anyway, where are we? Where are we? Okay. So I'll put the number on. If anyone wants to phone that number and say a few words, say whatever you want to say, but make it brief anyway. Make it brief and not too long because we've got other things to talk about. Yeah, McLaren. I had great 3 weeks in the Philippines. It went due south after I came back though with my leg. It's been shite. Okay. Well, at least you've had a holiday, a nice holiday. David Coleman, my first 6 months of retirement have been very, very good. Well, that's good anyway. So are you optimistic about the rest of the year? Do you think the rest of the year is going to be any better? Crypto Chris card. I've got 3 bank accounts just in case. Okay, fair enough. Let's say travel and military. Ed, what do those big YouTubers like Bold Bankrupt, Harold Ball do nowadays? They don't travel like they used to and don't make much content. They're probably doing other things. Aren't they? They probably got books out or they're probably doing other things. Don't forget, YouTube's not a massive earner. Even for the for the bigger guys, they probably do earn a fair bit. But if they're not really producing much, then they've obviously got other things going. Prior, 9. Where's the chocolate Ed? Do you know something? There's 2 types of Cadbury's hot chocolate. One of them is lovely, and the other is not so nice. The one that comes in the sort of a jar, carton sort of thing, is not very nice. The one that's shaped like an hourglass, that's lovely. Unfortunately, in the co-op, I couldn't get that one, so that's why I'm not having any. Yogi Bear. Sure, a girl once said to me that she wouldn't play second fiddle to anyone. I said, love what it looks like yours. You're lucky to be in the band. Okay, fair enough. Good for you. Sean Harris, have you ever been chatted up by a lady apart from Thailand? Of course I have. You know, I was a prolific young man about town. Many years ago. I've been chatted up by a lady, definitely. Yeah, Dave DeRay back on the booze, Eddie. Well, why not, The booze. I wouldn't count the co-op diet ginger ale as booze. It's tasty though. It's very, very tasty. So let's move that one. So anyway, if anybody wants to phone in on that number and say a few words, whatever. So anyway. Where are we now? So anyway, let's see. Did I miss that one? I switched that one off. I missed that one. Hello?
Hello, Edward.
Hello? Who is this? Yeah, I've got a good guess anyway. It's Clive?
No, it's not Clive.
No, who is it? Hannibal Lecter?
No. You've got to guess, mate. You can't guess.
Jason Statham?
Bloody hell! How did you get that?
I was watching the Jason Statham movie last night. I was watching one of the Crank, which wasn't one of the best ones ever. It wasn't one of the best ones ever. He's been in some great movies, but that wasn't that one. So anyway, Clive, what do you think about the first half of this year?
Yeah, it's been good.
Yes.
Been good. Like I had a good holiday. I met the woman I've been talking to since September for the first time. But like met her in the Philippines.
Yeah.
But it's just coming back, in a couple of days later, hospital, and then I've got to have plastic surgery now, not skin graft. So.
Oh, God Almighty! God Almighty!
It doesn't matter, does it? I'll be back out there next year.
Yeah.
Getting some more fly bites and mosquito bites, I'm sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Those mozzies. Those bloody mozzies they're awful. They are. I had some flies in here. Through the week, for a couple of nights, but they've gone now. I don't know what it was. I don't know what was causing it. I really, really don't know where they come from. Never seen them before.
I bought some fly strips.
Yeah.
Off eBay. £3.50 for 8 fly strips.
Yeah.
Pest Police, it's called.
Yeah.
So I'm going to test those out and get rid of it. I've got a problem with flies now.
Yeah.
Insects.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, I mean, wouldn't you agree though? But the beautiful thing about travel, Clive, the wonderful thing about travel is that if you can go away for a while, whether it's a few weeks or a few months or whatever, if you do that every year, then at least it's not a year wasted. I like to go away at the start of the year, simply because if I do that, then whatever happens in the rest of the year, at least I've done something to make the year worthwhile. I wouldn't like to end any year thinking, well, there were no highlights of that year. You know what I mean?
I must admit, the first couple of hours in Manila weren't too great.
Yeah.
I spent got off the plane. There was like 5 planes full of foreigners, and you have to go through the foreign passport control.
Yes.
And like then literally 2 people serving probably 1,000 people waiting. Like there was like literally probably 5 planes like that landed pretty much all at the same time. And like Filipinos were going through this other lane. There were like 3 or 4 passport officials, like taking their passports. It was blooming hilarious. Like there was this one American dude, like just walks up past all everybody waiting, like going, "Where's the queue?" I said, "Well, no, this is the queue, like for passport control." Pointed to the end of it. It was like way down there, the building, like, but like he was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
But like literally, it was probably about an hour waiting to go and to get your passport, and the QR thing scanned, like for the coronavirus, for the horrible virus thing.
I mean, with the Philippines, the last I heard of the Philippines is that all of a sudden they were demanding that you have an up-to-date booster before you go there.
They never even checked the QR code.
Yeah.
Seriously. I actually got the QR code ready on my phone, like, and they were like, just like waving me through. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
And that was when you needed the two jabs. You didn't need a booster, you just needed the 2 jabs.
Yeah.
And I got a booster as well, but it was like 2 years old, the booster.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably useless, so it's probably ineffective.
Well, the thing is, without going into too much detail about that sort of stuff, the medical issues of that and the controversy. I mean, the thing is, I've had 3 jabs. There was the 2 Vauxhall Astra ones, whatever they were called, and the third one was the booster Pfizer. So I had 3, and that was a couple of years ago. I mean, that must have been 2021, or was it 2020? Can't remember when that was now.
Mine were all Moderna.
Yeah.
Moderna, whatever they were cool.
Yeah, I had those you know, I think 2021, so that was like 2 years ago that I had those now, so they probably are useless. But the thing is,
probably ineffective,
yeah, but the thing is, I'm still alive, and some people are not. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But like, yeah, the other thing was, I had all this great plan. Like, I was going to get a grab taxi into Metro Manila. I needed to get to Novelicias, which is it's sort of Quezon City, to the hotel.
Yeah.
And I didn't have any Wi-Fi. There was no Wi-Fi in the building. Like, I kept going for me for the Wi-Fi options thing. Nothing like that. So I think this is great.
Yeah.
Anyway, I had no local money, no pesos.
Yeah.
I was like, this is brilliant. This is like, so like, you know, I was just hoping like, you know, a taxi driver would take, you know, a card or something like that. No. No, I got scammed. This is the embarrassing bit. This is. Anyway, this guy came. Do you want taxi? And I was like, yeah, look at dumbass. Like, I went, yeah, why not? Yeah, brilliant. You know, you hear the word taxi, like you just had, like, literally 20 odd hours. No, probably about 18 hours of traveling time because I went through Hong Kong to get to Manila. And I was like, absolutely, like, this was like 6 o'clock at night, and I was like, yeah, brilliant. Because, like, the girl I'd been talking to was waiting at the hotel, supposedly, but they wouldn't let her into the room. That was another story. Yeah. It was a bit of a shit show, to be fair.
I mean, the thing about taxis, I mean, taxis be bloody in the. Somebody mentioned that Africa to me earlier. Yeah. I went to Ethiopia. I traveled around Ethiopia for a month, and Ethiopia is a very, very very, very good value country, but the taxi drivers were bastards. They really would overcharge you and pull a fast one. And also with the currency there, they with the currency, it was like the bear or whatever it is. They try and pull a fast one with the currency, make out that you're giving them a small note when you're giving them a bigger one, and they were absolute bastards. Another place where you have to watch taxis is I arrived at Hanoi Airport many years ago, and there some little Vietnamese guy with a suit on saying, "Taxi, my friend." He grabbed hold of my trolley, you know, with my luggage on it, and I could actually see your fleet of taxis outside, but he was on his mobile phone, and when they're on the mobile phone, that's always a sign that there's something up. You know what I mean? So. You know, because a long story short, I ended up dragging my bloody trolley all the way outside with him on it, and I dragged him and his bloody and the luggage out of the taxis. And as soon as he seen the fleet of official taxi, he kind of scarpered. So you do have to be careful.
They're absolute asses, aren't they? Taxi drivers, like they're not like British ones aren't so bad, obviously.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm trying to work out what I got scammed by now. Hang on a minute. Hang on. Yeah, I must have been. You're going to absolutely. You're not going to laugh.
Yeah.
You're not going to laugh at this. It cost literally. Like, now put it into context. Yeah. When I came back from basically where I was back to the airport.
Yeah.
The Manila airport. It cost me 2,000 euros. Euros, bloody pesos. Sorry, pesos.
Pesos, yeah.
It cost me 2,000 pesos.
Yeah.
I thought that's fair enough. And it was like getting a bag of sweets, like, and some munches basically for on the way and on the way back, like they're happy. Which was brilliant. I got charged. Get this, 8,000 pesos. To go from, which is, at the time, it was about 100 quid, £100.
Yes.
To go from the airport to Metro Manila, which is,
a scam.
It was a Carino Highway. It was on the Carino Highway, which is like one of the main drags, like through Manila.
Yeah.
It was in Quezon City.
Yeah.
And no joke, mate. It took literally 3.5 hours. this is a drive of probably about, I don't know, it was probably about 10 miles. It took 3.5 hours. The traffic was absolutely biblical. But like, seriously, £100, like, but
that is a scam.
Yeah, well, I got into the taxi, and then another guy got in, so there were two of them, and I was like, I couldn't get out because my bag was already in the boot, so like I couldn't just jump out and say, oh no, bugger this, like, you know, and all the rest of it. Bag was in the boot, so that was held to ransom in effect, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And like, because like if I hadn't jumped out, they'd buggered off with me bag, like, you know, before I could get to the boot to get it out. Like, you don't know, do you?
Yeah.
And then they were going, oh no, traffic bad, traffic bad. I tell you what, we can go to a bar, you know, and have a drink first. Yeah, I show you Filipino ladies and stuff like that. Bear in mind, like, I'm meant to be like meeting, like, you know, this bird, like I've been talking to for the last like 6 months. Well, 5-6 months, like,
yeah.
You know, in a hotel. I was like, it sounds like a good idea, but like it's probably not good. You know, it's probably not a good idea, but it sounds, you know. But like in the end, yeah. Oh my God, it was an absolute. I felt like an absolute fool. It was literally about £100, £100, like. But I needed to get to the hotel, and like the lines for the taxis were ridiculous.
Yeah.
And he wasn't actually as well. He wasn't actually outside the airport. He was in one of those car parks. You know, it was one of those hidden car parks. It was over a couple of roads, the airport roads. And like they park there because they can't. The scammers can't actually park outside the airport.
Yeah.
They're not. I don't know. Probably not licensed to or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, freelancing basically.
Okay. Well, anyway, that's for telling us all of that. Anyway, let's just do another little question before I wrap the show up. Anyway. Okay. Okay. So anyway, we're just going to do another question before I wrap this one up. Anyway. So and the question is there anything good about woke? What do you reckon, Clive? What do you reckon? I mean, we're hearing more and more as time goes on about woke this and woke that. You know, from drag queens telling stories to children. It's just woke is the word. I mean, basically, it means to be aware of injustice and racism and sexism and all that.
I think you probably know my opinion on that.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just going to go. Mark Oleg says, I prefer sleep. Good for you, Mark. Good for you. I'm going to grab myself another bit of refreshment a moment. Okay, so it's anything good about woke? Okay. Mark Allen says I prefer sleep. Gemini Star. Can anyone actually name? Could you name anything about the woke society or the woke era? Can you actually name anything good about it? Brian Street, I thought you meant one. Okay.
I'm woke about one thing.
Yeah.
This thing I am woke about. If the Tories do not pull their finger out and get their heads out of their asses, basically, and actually run the country, run the NHS properly, kind of steer it into it. Which what they've come out with today, like about the NHS, that's a start, isn't it? But,
yeah.
Just get out of all the bickering and backstabbing, stuff like that.
Oh,
look as though they're a party to run the country.
I mean,
Labour will get in. We'll have 12 years of Labour.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the thing is, we've seen this before in the 1990s. I mean, the Conservative Party fell apart in the years after Thatcher, and it became the party of sleaze, and eventually, but it got thrown out for two reasons. First of all, because the Conservative Party had turned to shite, and also the Labour had a really, really powerful leader called Tony Blair. It really won people over. Whereas now, there's only Labour will probably get in, but it'll be a tragedy if they get in simply because they haven't even got a good leader. I mean, they will get in solely because the Conservatives have turned to shite once again.
Hey, we've got Tol Verban in again. The troll?
Who's that?
Tol Verban.
Verbener. What kind of an? I'm sure that bloody name is an anagram of something, isn't it?
I'm looking at the start of the comments on. Why don't you start your own channel? You have plenty to say and you ruin every stream.
No, Clive is not on everything. Clive has been good enough to phone in, and it's always good to hear from him. Anyway, he always provides us with a laugh. Anyway, he always provides us with a laugh. So anyway, Yogi Bear. Yeah, Bobby Cuss says there might not be an election. If they go for war, they will suspend all elections. Oh, Jesus Christ. I think an election is the lesser of two evils. Gemini Star, what does woke stand for anyway? Well, it basically comes from being awake, being alert to the injustices and the prejudices and the sexism and all that in society. But it's been hijacked by a bunch of lefty knobheads. Mark, I'll stick with silver. I think we're talking about crypto here, aren't we? Tol Verban. Yeah, such as you. There you go. Tol Verban. The last time we went with that. Oh, okay. I'm sure Sean Harris. Sean Harris is thick-skinned. Yeah, Sean Harris is thick-skinned as well. I mean, everyone really liked Sean Harris the other night. We thought that Sean Harris was a really, really good guest. Yeah, absolutely. Crypto Chris Card. We never suspended elections during World War II. Okay, I didn't. Okay, so can anyone actually mention anything good about woke apart from drag queens teaching, reading stories to kids and all of this kind of rubbish, and people declaring that they're neither male nor female anymore. They are they. They should be referred to as they. The whole. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm sure they make a nice sandwich. Let's see. Gemini, sir. Sean Harris was excellent. Okay. Mr. says house burgled by security 3 times in 30 years. Okay. YY feels you're making a massive loss, Chris, like every other crypto card. Okay. I think the chat is talking about I think the chat is talking about something else here. So what do you think? I mean, something happened this week with the RAF. The RAF has admitted that they went in for positive discrimination. In other words, denying white people in favor of ethnic minorities to make it more culturally diverse of the RAF. I mean, what do you think? I mean, the people, the RAF who fought for this country would think of this. It's absolutely bloody disgraceful.
Yeah. You just get fed up of it. Like it's just you'd think it has gone away with BLM.
Yeah.
BLM needs to do my head in with all the I'm not saying like what happened in America and all the rest of it, because that's what BLM is. BLM started way before that, but with like police fight shooting ethnic minorities and stuff like that. Okay. And like the knee thing like on the neck and stuff like that. I used to get absolutely fed up of the Formula One. You'd watch Formula One. they do like the anthem of the country, then they do the knee thing, taking the knee thing.
Yeah.
They don't do it anymore because F1 wouldn't stand for it anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, you can do that. You can have maybe T-shirt. I think they even banned T-shirts and stuff in the end, like with like slogans, like political slogans. You know, when they were in interviews and stuff like that with Sky or whoever, you know, or Channel 4 or you know, their F1 TV channel and stuff like that. It's just like, we watch the news, we know what goes on. Why do we have to watch it on sports, you know, in sports bets? You know what I mean?
Yeah. When you think about it, I mean, some of the bloody sexual, sexual things. I mean, denying what is a man or a woman, or it's just become absolutely absurd. I mean, do you think, Clive, eventually the world will grow out of this bollocks? We'll realise this woke phase is just a stupid phase that we were going to, and the silliness of it all, and get back to a bit of normality.
If you knew, regardless of what sex you are, what gender, whatever, you know, you're male, female, and you could you were probably the best, shot, in the army, best marksman or something like that. You wouldn't care, would you? But the problem is, it's that over, it's political over practicality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Regardless, yes, I know you get like women which go into the gym site, and they're fitter than most men sometimes in the gym and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
But there are certain situations which maybe 99% only men can do and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like these groups don't get it at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
I got a warning from Facebook recently, because during the coronation of Prince Charles, King Charles, I made a joke about, the ethnic diversity of people, and I made a joke about transvestites, and it took Facebook about 10 days to realize that they didn't like my comment. So they gave me a warning and said, if you do that again, we'll cancel your account. And it was kind of a light-hearted joke. But
it took him 10 days.
It took them 10 days to realize that wasn't very politically correct.
Well, I haven't seen any of your posts with the offensive, to be honest. You're not an offensive person, are you?
I'm not really offensive. I'm not really that offensive at all. I mean, at the end of the day, I kind of like my Facebook account now. I like the Messenger, and you use it for various other things. And as for YouTube, well, I like my YouTube channels, so I'm certainly not going to do anything deliberately offensive. You know what I mean?
I must admit, I've got a bit fed up of Facebook. I'm putting certain things because I know certain people are looking at it, and I've literally in the past have blocked my mother and father. I've blocked my ex-wife. I've blocked all sorts of people because I know I can't express myself, my personal opinion or anything like that, without worry of not offending somebody, but that somebody seeing it and not sort of judging it, or you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And it just I'm fed up with it. I haven't posted on Facebook. I think I posted happy birthday to my son, I think, a few weeks ago. That's non-offensive.
I just don't take it seriously. I really don't take it seriously. So anyway, nobody's actually said anything, anything good about woke. I mean, the question is there anything good about woke? But nobody's actually come up. So as far as I'm saying, there's nothing good about woke. I can't think of anything again. Anyway, listen, Clive, thanks for coming on anyway. I'm going to end the stream now anyway. Thanks for coming on. You're always welcome to come on. Okay?
Thank you for getting my impersonation.
Okay, Jason Statham. Okay. I watched Crank last night. Not one of his best movies, but he has been in a lot of really, really good ones. Anyway, Clive, have a lovely week. Have a lovely weekend. Thanks for coming on. Cheers. Okay, so that was Clive McLaren at F1. So I'm going to wrap this up now. We've been on for an hour and 40 minutes. We've had a little old chat, a little old chat. So anyway, I'm going to phone. I'm going to finish this one off. Maybe I should do a travel live stream once a week on the other channel. Maybe on a Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon, something like that. We'll see about that. Mark, I have premium YouTube and YouTube TV. Oh, good for you, mate. Good for you. David Coleman has all his hair. Okay. Bobby Crush says send them all back. And that sounds very, very determined. Okay. So anyway, I'm gonna wrap this one up now. And anyway, thanks for coming along, everyone. We've been on for 100 minutes. It's been a Friday night. The weather's taking a bit of a knock here in England. Our summer, our summer, like, it doesn't look like summer right now. Anyway, the forecast for the weekend isn't really good, but we've got to keep smiling anyway. Listen, I'll be back on Monday. Possibly do a stream on Sunday afternoon on the other channel. We'll see what happens anyway. But listen, guys, have a lovely weekend, everybody. Thanks for coming along. Have a great weekend, and I'll be back on the Steady Eddie Live channel on Monday at 9 o'clock. Okay. Cheers, guys. Have a great weekend. Cheers.